Hey, folks, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here, live. Yes, I'm live. I am live. I am not Memorex, nor am I... nor am I recorded. Anyway, hey, how you doing? This is the 24th of March, 2014. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. This is the Views Express Live. I was off last week, had a massive sinus infection for 2-3 days, and it just would not go away. And finally it did, and I'm kind of getting over it right now. I put up a couple of podcasts, and if you heard them last week, you know that I was not feeling 100%. So, how y'all doing? If you're in the Spreaker chat, drop in, say hello. I'm not on the website, which is freeamericaradio.us. I'm not in that chat room. Seems to me that if I open too many tabs on my browser, it crashes the whole show. So, I'm on the Spreaker chat. So drop over on the Spreaker side of things. Say hi. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook and like the page. I've got 91 followers on that page as of today. And I'd like to be at 100 by next week. Or at least next month. You know. So check it out. Free America Radio on Facebook. We got a lot to talk about. You know what it's like being sick. You don't want to do anything. You just want to sit there and just veg, man. Just get over it. You feel miserable, you know. But anyway, hey, I want to thank Bob Brutus over there at wakingupthemasses.com. And you can also hear this show on wakingupthemasses.com. And he will give you all of the information as to where you can hear it. On 1610 AM, Chickamauga, Georgia area. Yes, we are micro-broadcasting. He is micro-broadcasting and airing my show on his broadcasting network. Anyway, so thank you, Mr. Bob Brutus, for all you do at Waking Up the Masses. I also want to give a big, huge, freaking shout-out to Brian Lang over at Live Truth Radio. Yes. Talked today. He was talking today. He was having some audio trouble, got disconnected, got all kinds of... He blames it on the NSA. I wouldn't doubt it at all. As a matter of fact, I don't. I mean, you know, if you're out there and you're a patriot and you're telling people what's happening and, you know, showing somebody the real truth, yeah, they're going to try to shut you down, believe me. They did it to Mark Dice, you know. I think they did it again to his alternative channel that he has. You know? Well, that's Google. YouTube is Google. And Google is NSA. So, so you start talking about, you know, all kinds of stuff, they're going to shut you down. And it's amazing. It really is. To me, anyway. That people who are patriotic, who are out there, who love liberty, who enjoy, you know, being free, are targeted by our own government for, for just being free and patriotic Americans. It's odd to me. What the hell is happening with people? What is happening with people? I don't know. Folks, I am going to take a small little break. I will be back in just a tad over 1 minute. So hang in there. This is the Views Express right here on Free America Radio Network. Listen to Crash Talk with your host, Christopher John Taylor, on HTLA973.com.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene, destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 5:15 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And Southnet 1.
All aboard! Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
What is reality? The foundation of reality is based on many concepts. Each person perceives reality differently. In the book, The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman, they explore the hidden infrastructure of reality. Get your copy today at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Hey, folks, this is the Views Express live right here on the Free America Radio Network and on wakingupthemasses.com. Thank you, Mr. Bob Brutus. Also, you can go to the website, freeamericaradio.us. Help Free America Radio Network get to the next level. You can donate. You can help out. Awesome. Appreciate that very much. There's a store there. Check it out. Anyway, what do we have? Go to Free America Radio on Facebook and check out the stories that I got there. Between being not well last week and having moments of moments where I could do stuff, I would post stuff over the weekend, and well, I posted a whole bunch just in the last several hours. From redflagnews.com, Homeland Security exercise targets, quote, free Americans against socialistic tyranny, unquote. Yeah, go check that one out. Holy crap. Also from freedomoutpost.com, Obama's war on freedom of speech, rewriting of Freedom of Information Act is, let me click on it and go there, is a... Obama rewrites the Freedom of Information Act, doesn't tell America, sets sight on internet free speech. Let's talk about that one, shall we? How's that? If you're in the Spreaker chat, say hello. Drop in. Tell me how I'm sounding. Tell me what's going on. This is written by Pamela Geller March over at freedomoutpost.com. Thank you, Pamela. Last week, several important battles were fought in Obama's war on free speech. The Obama White House routinely bars news media from meetings with foreign leaders and other events, then releases its own photos of those events. But the remnants of what once was a free press in America are meekly fighting back. The Associated Press reported last week, quote, the presidents of the American Society of Newspaper Editors and the Associated Press media editors have urged their members to stop using White House handout photos and videos, saying they amount to propaganda, unquote. That's what the Associated Press is saying, folks. Continuing, this is quite stunning coming from a very left-of-center, Obama-loving mainstream media. But what they are not doing is reporting on these totalitarian tactics. Our freedoms are being crushed without a shot fired or a single New York Times front-page story. Obama may be governing like a third-world tin-pot dictator, but America is, or was, the world's superpower, and the implications of these totalitarian moves are seismic. The AP is leading the charge to get access back, but it is still shining his shoes. In other words, they're still in bed with Obama, folks. Continuing, look at how it is reporting the story. Quote, the Associated Press is seeking to broaden independent... let me say that again. The Associated Press is seeking to broaden independent news coverage of the White House under an administration that is hypersensitive about its image and which frequently bars the press from events involving President Barack Obama, unquote. It isn't seeking to broaden coverage of the Obama administration. It's simply trying to get access to a closed and secretive administration. Not only is Obama shutting out the press, but Obama White House is rewriting the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, F-O-I-A, to suppress the release of politically sensitive documents. Obama rewrote the Freedom of Information Act without telling the rest of America, and AP also reported that, quote, in a year of intense public interest over the National Security Agency's surveillance programs, the government cited national security to withhold information a record 8,496 times, a 57% increase over a year earlier, more than double Obama's first year when it cited that reason 3,658 times, unquote. Imagine if a Republican ever attempted such a vicious and totalitarian power grab. Obama is the anti-freedom president. He showed that yet again by endangering today's hallmark of the freedom of speech, the internet, making it the target of the next offensive in his war on freedom. The Wall Street Journal reported Tuesday that, quote, the Obama administration made the surprise announcement it will relinquish its oversight of the Internet Corporation. Now, let me say that again because this is important to understand. This is important to focus on. The Wall Street Journal reported Tuesday that, quote, the Obama administration made the surprise announcement it will relinquish its oversight of the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, or ICANN, which assigns and maintains domain names and web addresses for the Internet. Russia, China, and other authoritarian governments have already been working to redesign the Internet more to their liking, and now they will no doubt leap to fill the power vacuum caused by America's unilateral retreat, unquote. Global governance of the Internet. Global governance, as in the UN? And who and what drives the UN? The largest voting bloc at the UN is what drives its policies, and that is the organization, get this, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or OIC. The historian, I can't pronounce his name, describes the OIC this way, quote, the OIC is one of the largest intergovernmental organizations in the world. It encompasses 56 Muslim states plus the Palestinian Authority. Spread over 4 continents, it claims to speak in the name of the Ummah, or the Universal Muslim Community, which numbers about 1.3 billion. The OIC's mission is to unite all Muslims worldwide by rooting them in the Quran and the Sunnah and the core of traditional Islamic civilization and values. It aims at strengthening solidarity and cooperation among all its members in order to protect the interests of Muslims everywhere and to galvanize the Ummah into a unified body, unquote. Can you say one world religion, folks? Continuing, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation will undoubtedly demand the suppression of websites that insult Islam or encourage hatred, and they won't be referring to jihad forums that foment violence and incite to slaughter. The Wall Street Journal explains, quote, according to the administration's announcements, the Commerce Department will not renew its agreement with ICANN, which dates back to 1998. This means effective next year, the U.S. will no longer oversee the root zone file, which contains all names and addresses for websites worldwide. If authoritarian regimes in Russia, China, and elsewhere get their way, domains could be banned and new ones not approved for meddlesome groups such as Ukrainian independence organizations or Tibetan human rights activists, unquote. And Pamela Geller says here, readers of my website are well aware of the goals of the OIC. It has already gotten passed a proposal in the UN, backed by Muslim nations, urging the passage of laws around the world protecting religion from criticism. Islam is the only religion specifically named as deserving protection. Islam is the only religion specifically named as deserving protection. Websites like Pamela's, PamelaGeller.com, are the ones that dare speak of the truth of Islam and report on the jihad and the terrible human rights abuses, the persecution of Christian, Jews, Buddhists, Hindus, etc., the oppression of women and children, the murder of non-believers, and the brutal imposition of Sharia law, Islamic I can't pronounce that word. Screw it. Academic jihad, social jihad, cultural jihad, Sharia finance, stealth jihad, and the galloping global jihad. The corrupt media are already subdued and self-censored or self-censor. The net is all there is. Back in 2009, Obama threatened such anti-freedom action, and Pamela wrote about it at the time, and he backed off after the American people in Congress protested. Where are the American people now? I want to point something out, and I'm going to make this very clear. I'm going to make this very clear, and it's probably going to piss off some people. But do I care? You know what I care about? Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I care about my freedoms. I care about your freedoms. I care about every citizen of the United States and their freedom. And how would your grandpa feel? How would your grandpa or grandma feel knowing that a religion of hate, yes, I said it, a religion of hate, is saying that patriots like us, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, Hindus, in a country where we are free to worship whatever deity we see fit, is now coming under fire by the Muslims and the Islamic religions. Well, I got one thing to say to all you Muslim supporters. I grew up in Stockton, California. And there's a Muslim community there that looks at these radicals over in the Middle East going, they are the dumbest people on the face of the planet. This is what the Muslims are saying in Stockton, California. But I don't know, I just wouldn't put it past some of them. So I don't want to lump all Muslims into what I'm about to say. So I'll make the distinction right here and now. Any organization or those members of those 56 organizations in the United Nations, I got a message for you. You piss off 200 million people and you try to take away their rights and their religion and the way they worship, we're going to send you back to your country in a body bag. So you better be prepared for a fight. You want it, you got it. We're going to stand up for every American citizen in this country, and we're going to do what we can to protect our freedoms and to stand on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. But the only way we can stop them, America, is by going to Washington, D.C. And I suggest, you can do whatever you want, but I suggest this. If you live near Washington, D.C., May 16th, American Spring, right there in Washington, D.C. But I hope to see people out here in Carson City, Nevada, rallying around the Capitol building, telling them we've had enough. Now I know, I said I would probably piss off a few people. And I know some people are saying, well, I don't agree with the Muslims anyway, but we're in a country that has freedom of religion, so why not just leave it alone? Because that religion is not a religion of peace. That religion is a religion of hate. And as far as I'm concerned, they can hate me all they want. Because backing down has never been in my vocabulary. And I guarantee you right off the get-go, we've got at least 100 million to 150 million people in this country that are going to tell these Islamic bastards where to go. Now, if you don't like it, I'm not inciting riots. I'm not calling for it. I'm calling for a full-out defense of the freedoms that we have of the United States of America. And as that author in that article said, where are the Americans now? Where are the people that are going to stand up like George Washington, Samuel Adams, John Adams? Where are they? Where are the people that are going to say enough is enough and put their foot down and say, you know what? That's it. Right now, today, as of the 24th of March, 2014, there is enough evidence and enough to prosecute the president, the vice president, the speaker of the House, the Senate minority and majority leaders, and the Attorney General. What are you doing? Sitting on your hands, waiting for somebody else to do it? Huh. Kind of wonder. I'm in full defense mode, folks. And to be totally honest with you, I don't want to see violence. I don't want to see any of it. And the only way that we cannot, and the only way that we're going to stop this without it getting so out of hand and violent is if we go to Washington, D.C. and say enough is enough. Oh, and by the way, we got midterms coming up. You know, that's okay too. But your votes don't count. They don't. They don't. When a vast majority of the American people in the United States of America understand specifically that everything that they ever believed in is now crushed, and over 75% of the United States citizens in America today do not trust Washington, D.C. at all, yeah, there's your problem right there. The members of Washington, D.C. I don't know where to go from there, folks. All I can say is you got a decision to make. I've made mine. I'm in full defense mode. You want to sit back and say, oh, well, Obamacare's okay. You want to sit back and say, well, I'm in the middle and I really don't know how to blah, blah, blah. If you say you're liberal and in the middle, you are fully in the hands, or soon will be, of those that are in control. Because you're not going to see anything wrong with what's going on, and you're not going to look at the information, and you're not going to look at the truth, and you're not going to look at the facts, simply because you don't want to. I've had enough of people like that. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy. You know, I've had enough of people looking at me and claiming, oh, well, I don't know why you put up all that stuff on your Facebook page, because that's all, you know, it's... Pfft. Really? Did you read the articles? No, I don't have to. I can just read the headlines and know where it's going to go. Really? Huh. Really? Well, seems to me you need to be educated. Seems to me seems to me you don't know jack. I've spent my life learning and relearning and learning something new each and every single day of my life. And I guarantee you, I don't know it all, and neither do you. And for you to sit there and to tell me, I just read the headline and I already know what the article's going to say, really? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard anyone say in my life. Oh, I can say that. Because I was one of you at one point, until the proverbial rug was pulled out from underneath me and I saw, let's just say I was the camel with his nose under the tent, looking in and seeing all of it. So if there's any stupid people here that are siding with Obama, I want to say this: get the hell out now. You don't need to be listening to this program, because all you're going to do is throw stuff at your computer screen and criticize me for things you don't understand. Hey, I got a novel idea. You can either go away or stick around and find out what's going on. Who's behind the curtain, pulling the handles and pushing the buttons? Don't be stupid. I say it like it is. Oh, and by the way, virtual high five to Mr. Brian Lang over at Live Truth Radio. If you want to know just how pissed off people are, other than myself, you go listen to Mr. Brian Lang over there. Hey, Mr. Lang, I got 3 words for you. Lock and load. I don't like violence. I really don't. And I don't condone it at all. But if somebody breaks into my door, I have a God-given right to protect myself, and I'm going to do it by any means necessary. If anybody's trying to usurp my religion and change it to something they want, you better not, if you know what's good for you. Like I said before, there's over 100 to 150 to 180 million people that are looking at certain groups of people. And we have you in our crosshairs. So you better think twice about coming here and changing everything. Because I guarantee you ain't getting out of here alive, and you sure as hell ain't going to be meeting 72 virgins on the other side. That's for damn sure. There is a time and a place and a way to express how I feel. How you feel. You know it. There's a time and a place for all of that. And you understand that. But you know, there comes a time and a place. There comes a time and a place when you're not going to put up with any more bullcrap. And all bets are off. Be right back.
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Damn politicians. My mother always told me this country would be screwed if the liberals had their way. The only sanity I get is when I listen to Jeff Wagner on the Conservative Voice, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, and I want to tell you of a DVD that I have watched. It's a very interesting one. It's a film by Alex Jones. It's called Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. For the New World Order, a world government is just beginning. Once in place, they can engage their plan to exterminate 80% of the world's population while enabling the quote-unquote elites to live forever with the aid of advanced technology. For the first time, crusading filmmaker Alex Jones reveals their secret plan for humanity's extermination. Operation Endgame. That's Endgame by Alex Jones. Get it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene. Destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 515 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And SouthNet 1.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
Yeah, this is the Free America Radio Network. This is the Views Express Live. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. 24th of March, 2014. I don't know, folks. You know, I sound angry. Wouldn't you be? Hey, let me ask you a question. I like to ask people questions, and if you're in the Spreaker chat, please give me an answer, because I'd like to know. Anyway, question is this. You send your child to school. He or she goes to school. They're there. And they are given a questionnaire, or what is called a psychosocial checklist. And they ask all kinds of questions like, well, for instance, here's the checklist. The following is a checklist of psychosocial stressors that may impact a student's academic and social functioning. This list is not comprehensive. These factors should be considered when determining if a student is eligible for special education. These stressors should not necessarily prevent a student from being identified, however. They must be considered. And it goes down like experienced child abuse, physical, emotional, or sexual, witness to community violence, or severe illness of a student, or death of a parent or caretaker, move from one foster home to another, change schools one or more times during a school year. This is on Free America Radio on Facebook, and you can just scroll down and find it. But here's the interesting one. You send your child to school, and he or she comes back with this psychosocial checklist that says, one of the things down here says sexual identity issues. Oh, and by the way, your children are in the first grade. Sexual identity issues. Well, a mother got this. Props to this parent. Please be involved with your child's school life. This is from the Wolves Amongst the Sheep on Facebook. The Wolves Amongst the Sheep on Facebook. Sexual identity issues on this psychosocial checklist is circled, and next to it on the left-hand side it says this is for a first grader. First graders shouldn't even know what this is. Well, the mother wrote Due to John White's gutting of the FERPA law, I understand my child's personal information is no longer as secure as it once was. The questions on this paper are offensive, invasive, and none of the school's business. These questions are part of the unconstitutional Common Core and have nothing to do with teaching him proper speech techniques. I do not give permission for any school administrator or teacher or employee to ask my child these questions either. Please honor our family's Fourth Amendment right and our right to privacy. You should see the comments on this picture. One person says, this is the new communist indoctrination schools. The communists brainwash your child and force insane teachings on them, and you don't matter and can't do a damn thing about it. Well, yes, you can. You know what you can do? Number one, you can pull your kid out and homeschool him. A teacher and it's on theblaze.com. You'll have to go see it. I've read it and I've heard the show today, Glenn Beck's program today. And a teacher quit because of all kinds of things. And she was a teacher for 25 years and she quit because of Common Core being implemented in her school and other extenuating little circumstances along the way as well. Pull your kids out and homeschool them, if you can. The other thing you can do is sue the school district for everything they have. Because this is very unconstitutional. Your child is 6 years old. You're sending them to school, and the school's wanting to give the psychosocial checklist to them, asking them about their sexual identity issues. Your 6-year-old should not even be asked those questions, okay? We need to change it now. We need to make the changes. We need to go to the city council. We need to go to the county board of supervisors, and we need to, don't ask them, oh, would you reconsider? No, we need to demand that either they do what we want them to do, or you, as a citizen of that city, will accept their resignation in 72 hours. Period. No other way around it. You are either going to do it or you're going to quit. And I will come and sit on the city council, and I will help make the changes to better this city and help your children learn. And the first thing I would do is get rid of Common Core. Now, yeah, I'm a little angry today because it's been pent up for over a week. Yes, hey, look who we have in the Spreaker chat. Donna Lang Perez. Yes, this is the chat room that I was talking about. She said that she pulled her kids out 15 years ago. I'm so glad I did it. Yes, hey. Yes, the school district does not own your kids. I'm sorry. No. Moms, dads, because I know there's some single fathers out there, parents, you are responsible for your child, not the school. You go to the principal and say, here's what you're going to do. And if you don't, the next time you see me, I will have my lawyer with me. Do you understand? Now, or if you don't want to go through all that crap, just pull them out of school. By the way, did you know that your child is a commodity to the school district? Did you know that? For every child that is in a seat in a school, in a classroom, the school makes money. It's called the yearly budget. Do you know why they are sticklers on attendance? Because if those kids aren't there, they lose money. They calculate it out to the last dime. And if your kid is sick for a week, that school's losing money. Your child is nothing but a commodity to them. That is why they hold them, they don't call them truants anymore, but, they have, why do you think they have school district police? I'm just, you understand where this is all going, folks? You understand where this is all going? And I totally agree with Donna in the chat room. Homeschooling is only as hard as you make it. Yes. Your child is more important, or should be important. And you should reschedule your work if you work for someone, unless you work for yourself. Then you can make it pretty easy that way. But reschedule all of your work around homeschooling your child. I know parents that do it, and they're doing really well. They homeschool the kids up until noon or whatever. Then they do what they do, and kids are fine, parents are fine. Onward and upward to bigger and better things, such as redflagnews.com. Report, Homeland Security exercise targets online dissident. Paul Joseph Watson wrote this. Leaked Homeland Security documents obtained by InfoWars reveal details of a joint DHS-FEMA national exercise set to take place this week. And this was dated, let me give you a date. Well, didn't give a date, really, but probably today. Details of a joint DHS-FEMA national exercise set to take place this week. One of the components of which revolves around an effort to counter online dissident by a group called Free Americans Against Socialist Tyranny, which is disgruntled at the imposition of martial law after an earthquake in Alaska. The document again underscores the federal government's obsession with characterizing libertarians and conservatives as some kind of extremist radical threat. The document, and there is a PDF for the document, which isn't found. Whoops. I clicked off the... clicked off the article there. Oh, there it is. Back on Free America Radio on Facebook. Let me click on the article and see if I can go there. The document was leaked by an individual affiliated with Stuart Rhodes' Oath Keepers organization and passed on to InfoWars. It is entitled National Exercise Program, Capstone Exercise 2014, Scenario Ground Truth. Let me say that slowly so you can go to startpage.com and look this up. National Exercise Program dash Capstone Exercise 2014 dash Scenario Ground Truth. The document is intended for U.S. Department of Homeland Security trusted agents only and is disseminated only on a need-to-know basis. Even the role players involved in the exercises itself are prohibited from seeing the files. The exercise is designed to evaluate readiness in preparation for a catastrophic incident, natural disaster, or major act of terrorism. Some of the scenarios which will be in play during the exercise include a series of earthquakes, tsunamis, and a nuclear weapons accident. On page 125 of the document, a scenario is outlined whereby a group calling itself Free Americans Against Socialist Tyranny responds to, quote, the U.S. Northern Command Mission of Defense Support to Civil Authorities, unquote, or the imposition of martial law by launching a protest campaign on social media and potentially engaging in cyber attacks. According to the scenario, the campaign is driven by suspicion that, quote, the government is responsible for the Alaska earthquake and a hacktivist manifesto, unquote. That's an exercise, folks. It's an exercise. It's a drill. How much you want to make a bet it can go live like that? I will do that. Somebody asked me if I can post a link in the chat. If you can highlight and copy the link, that would be great. If not, it's on the link to that report is on Free America Radio on Facebook, but I'll give you the actual link at redflagnews.com. And it also goes on down at the bottom of the article. It says read more, and it goes to Infowars.com. Homeland Security exercise targets free Americans against socialist tyranny. So you can read it there as well at Infowars.com. Let me show you, in a way, verbally, what these quote-unquote exercises are. 1993, World Trade Centers. There was a bomb that went off in the basement garage, and the person that was arrested, quote-unquote arrested, blew the whistle on the FBI and said that he was set up. And he went down the line of who it was, names, things, scenarios, the whole 9 yards. And he had a feeling before all of this happened, something was not quite right. So he set up a surveillance camera in his hotel room and caught a few things. 1993. Of course, you know what happened. There was a bomb that went off in a truck down below in the parking garages at the World Trade Centers in Manhattan. Fast forward 8 years. 2001, September 11th. Now, no matter what you believe what happened that day, there was a exercise that went live. Vice President Dick Cheney told the armed services to stand down. Go look at it. It's all on record, folks. Dr. Judy Wood, over at drjudywood.com, talks about direct energy weapons that brought down those buildings. How could the buildings be completely pulverized into dust by the time they hit the ground? That's her take on it. You're welcome. Spreaker chat. Donna shared a link. You're welcome. But think about it, folks. Exercises. Boston. Hello. Aurora. Movie theater shooting. James Holmes. Exercise. Hello. Witnesses there said there was more than one person. Kind of an odd little side note. We went out over the weekend. I was better Saturday, so we got out of here, and I tried to get some air and cabin fever after not being well over a week. So we got on a bus, and this person got on the bus, and myself and Diana from Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. We're sitting there. She didn't notice it, but I did. A guy got on the bus, looked exactly like James Holmes from the Aurora shooting. I sat there. I didn't even notice it until when I almost got off the bus. We stopped where we needed to stop, and I didn't say anything. I just was flabbergasted at the fact that this person looked exactly like him. Exactly. Hair, red hair, everything. I'm just like, holy crap. You know? Little side note just to share with y'all. What is it? The Aurora shooting, Boston, what else? How many other exercises do we have going on around that could potentially go live? How many? How many? It's called false flag events, folks. It's called do the little tiny things and get people distracted from the bigger things that are about to happen. And then when the bigger thing happens, everybody's going to go, what? Wait a minute. I was looking over here. Well, hold on. And they're going to get really confused. By the way, how many times do you want the government to lie to you before you realize they're lying to you? Okay? We didn't go into Iraq because Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. That later came out. That was a total fabrication. It was a lie. He didn't have them. Oh, but he had the potential to get them. No, he didn't. Terrorism in that region, in Iraq, and all of that area, when Saddam Hussein was alive and the president of Iraq, terrorism was down considerably in that whole area. Not only in Iraq, but surrounding areas. What happened when we murdered him? Oh yeah, you've seen the video of where he came out and got hung. Yeah, we murdered him. Thank you. Terrorism in that area increased dramatically. And then President Bush went into the wrong country. Hello. And let me clear something up. Reality check, folks. Osama bin Laden, codename Tim Osman, CIA operative. Yeah, he was dead in 2001, shortly after the false flag attack on America. Doctors in Dubai have come out, or did shortly thereafter, a couple of years, said, no, he passed away. We had him on his kidneys were failing. So who was that guy they shot in that place in Pakistan? And why did all those SEALs blow up in a Vietnam-era helicopter? Huh. Can you say, oops? Because that's exactly what happened. And don't give me this crap that it was all, yeah, you're full of it. No, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Connect the dots. And follow the money. Because it's all right there, folks. The Bin Laden family and the Bush family know each other. Hello. Who do you think built the freaking bases overseas for the American military? Yes. Oh, and by the way, Clinton knew where Osama bin Laden was too. Just didn't go after him. Why? Didn't think it was significant. By the way, Osama bin Laden had nothing to do with 9/11. Absolutely nothing. But they needed a scapegoat. They needed a boogeyman. Why not? Let me get back to some articles here before we go to the top of the hour break. Free America Radio on Facebook. Scientists confirm explosives used in demolition to demolish towers on 9/11. Topinfopost.com. Okay. Of course, I got the link up there for Live Truth Radio with Brian Lang. Delivers the live truth 6 days a week from Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern, and Sundays, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that very much. Also from the American Patriot on Facebook, Ted Turner. There's a video there you might want to go check out. Ted Turner says, yes, the former Mr. Jane Fonda. Ted Turner. I think it's good U.S. troops are killing themselves. By the way, here's conflicting reports. I want some confirmation on this. The Malaysian government says unequivocally, without a doubt, the plane went down in the Indian Ocean. BeforeIt'sNews.com says flight MH370 is at Diego Garcia. Here's the proof. Diego Garcia is the, let's just say, off-the-radar military base that we have. Okay? From We Are Chains, Luke Rudowski over there, wearechange.org, Georgia lawmakers pass controversial Guns Everywhere bill. In bars, nightclubs, school classrooms, and certain government buildings that lack security personnel and devices. Go check that out on Free America Radio on Facebook. Also, Obama to kill Tomahawk Hellfire missile programs. That's from WorldNet Daily, or whatever, WN as in Nancy, D as in dog.com. It's on there, Free America Radio on Facebook. The freethoughtproject.com. Resistance is mounting toward the militarization of American police. Yeah. A sheep no more. While Americans sit back in total ignorance, big protest in Spain against government austerity. Yep. Folks, I'm telling you, you got to get your head out of your wazoo and start paying attention. What? What? I missed my football game? George Orwell, 1984. George Orwell, a.k.a. Eric Blair, MI5 operative, or MI5 agent, CIA operative, or OSS operative of that time. Yeah. He basically said that people are going to be addicted to TV, to sports, to entertainment. And we got it worse now. We're addicted to stupid things. Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, pornography. We're just, the Illuminati and Hollywood. We're just, addicted to all of it. Except for me. Hey, I like a good movie now and then. But now most of them are all... They got propaganda all over, all through these movies. I don't know. What do we do, folks? What are we doing to ourselves? Well, better yet, what have we allowed to be done to us? Okay? Could you have stopped this? Could you? Huh? I don't know, folks. Lucy, you have some explaining to do. What the hell are we doing, folks? Better get your head out of your ass, because tomorrow you may not have one. Okay? Just saying. Just putting it out there. All right? FreeAmericaRadio.us is the website. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com is the email. I'm here Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Free America Radio Network.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the mainstream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Get your morning started with the Morning Brew on 92.6 The Blitz. Music from the 60s, 70s, and more. The Blitz 92.6. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com.
Free Talk Live.
You give someone an ounce of liberty and they'll go around abusing it and harming everyone else with it.
If we legalize guns...
People will be shooting people everywhere.
Right.
If you legalize prostitution, people will be having sex on the street corners. If you legalize drugs, we'll have heroin vending machines in the streets. We've heard it all on Free Talk Live. They take it to the most absurd, illogical extremes, and you're absolutely right, Alexander. It's okay for them to have freedom.
Yeah, you can give them a gun. They won't go around shooting people. But watch out with their neighbor, because you give them a gun, they'll go around in a rampage around the city, killing everyone.
But yes, they can be trusted, and apparently the government can be trusted too, because magically, we only elect the best of the best, the cream of the crop. The bureaucrats that are administering these programs are the upper echelon of society, the most trustworthy individuals.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when I squint, I swear I can see a halo above their heads.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Are you tired of the mainstream media? The media that is so biased, you wouldn't even let your dog listen to it? Well, there's an answer. Angel Club.
On RadioFreedom.us.
Just listen to her fans.
One hell of a writer. I've read a considerable amount of her articles and quite impressed.
Until Angel, my life was void of meaning.
I want to thank you for saving my goldfish from drowning.
I love Angel Clark's honesty and her down-to-earth concern about the people.
She is very dedicated.
Angel, we need you.
This Angel's a sexy woman. I think she's going to go places, but I don't know where.
Ladies and gentlemen, she does a good job.
If it wasn't for Angel,
you saved his life, and I will be indebted to you forever. SussexCountyAngel.com.
Be a part of Angel's Army.
Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on RadioFreedom.us.
Free Talk Live.
Do you guys have a zombie plan? I'm just wondering what this country's going to do if we had some sort of apocalypse like that.
Like a zombie attack.
What are we going to do?
People coming out of the ground, like in Thriller, like in Michael Jackson's
like 28
Thriller.
days later, like a virus or something.
Oh, okay.
I mean, people don't come back to life.
Well, no, there are different kinds of zombies out there.
Now,
but let me go through the types of zombies. I mean, you've got the ones that can crawl out of the ground, right? And then she was talking about like an infection kind of zombie, like a la Resident Evil, for instance. So ideally, if you're going to have to perish at the hands of a zombie, which would be the preference? Would you prefer to have your brains eaten, or would you prefer to become one of them?
I think I'd rather just die. The last thing I'd want is, of course, the people you split up with. Then I'm talking my wife and my child. I'm coming back. I'm wanting to eat Laura's brains. It's bad. It's bad.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
What does freedom mean? Tune in to LRN.FM to find out. LRN.FM is the Liberty Radio Network, a collection of live talk radio and podcasts, all coming from a principled pro-liberty perspective. LRN.FM show hosts aren't left, right, or conspiracy kooks. You can tune in 24/7 to LRN.FM via your phone, computer, satellite, and more. Listen free anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Hello, everybody. Hello, America. Yes. Yes. This is the Views Express live right here on the Free America Radio Network for the 24th of March, 2014. Welcome, everybody. Welcome Welcome to the Free America Radio Network, freeamericaradio.us, and Free America Radio at USA.com. Hello, Mr. Bob Brutus over at WakingUpTheMasses.com. Yes, my show is now aired on WakingUpTheMasses.com, 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area, micro-broadcasting in that area, of course. And if you go to WakingUpTheMasses.com, you can find out more about that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to Free America Radio on Facebook if you would like. It's entirely up to you. I'm not twisting your arm. From topinfopost.com. Scientists have discovered an explosive that was gathered from the WTC debris soon after the towers were destroyed on 9/11. Brigham Young University physics professor Dr. Stephen Jones united a global group of 9 analysts, if I can say that word, for more reasoning. Also, the scientists confirm that the samples were nanothermite explosives. There's over thousands of people that have challenged the government's conspiracy theory. 25 military officers have stated that the official 9/11 story is, quote, ludicrous, unquote, quote, a well-organized cover-up, unquote, and, quote, impossible, unquote. There are many other people that have conspiracies on 9/11 story, high-ranking military officers, academics, and architects, as well as hundreds of 9/11 firemen. The whole story seems like a joke. Commissioners of 9/11 say the government didn't tell us the whole truth about 9/11, counting its chairman. 10 commissioners on that commission, 6 of them retracted their stories. Continuing, Thomas Keane, Republican Vice Chairman, Lee Hamilton, Democrat, and its senior legal counsel, John Farmer, who states, quote, there was an agreement not to tell the truth, unquote. CNN shows that 89% suppose there's a U.S. government cover-up neighboring 9/11. A scientific poll by New York Times and CBS News says 81% think it is hiding something, or mostly lying. Only 16% of Americans assume the government is telling the truth about 9/11. Let me put that link into the Spreaker chat so all of you folks can get that as well. Now, why is 9/11 so significant? Why is 9/11 2001 so significant? I contend that it is so important to remember because that was the biggest false flag event in U.S. history. Aside from CBS reporting in 1964 that there was a carrier or a ship that was being fired upon by the North Vietnamese and blah, 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 and it went through the whole story, and some of the reporters understood that the ship was coming back into San Diego at that time, so they rushed down to the port, and when the people got off the boat, they were asking, hey, what happened out there? We got reports of blah, blah, blah. You know what the sailors said? Nothing happened out there. Not a thing. There wasn't anything that happened out there. It was a false flag situation that got us further into Vietnam. Go check it out. Oh, by the way, startpage.com, Operation Mockingbird. Might want to go check that out too. A lot of these reports that we find that have the official seal of the United States on it are actually so false that even the best prosecutor in the country would look at it and go, oh, I call BS on that one. You know? Here's the facts, folks, as much as I know. You're being lied to. You always have and you always will be. That is your state-run media telling you the quote-unquote official story of the federal government. Whatever media matters, owned, of course, by the federal government, and using that for their media leverage to give you the BS that you hear on your TVs and cable networks, or your local and cable networks on your TV. They're the ones that are spewing out the propaganda for you to believe. Now, I want to dispel some false information. One, I'm sure that in the last 5 to 5.5 years, viewerships of NBC, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, and Fox have plummeted to all-time lows, including those viewerships of CNN. But some people, and here's what I want to dispel, some people will say, oh, those stations, they're doing fine. They're great. Advertising revenue is up, blah, blah, blah. They're lying to you, folks, is what I'm saying. I have a suggestion, even though you can do whatever you want. I have a suggestion. How about just getting rid of your cable altogether? You know, there's this little thing called a Roku box or a Boxy or whatever hell you want to call that little thing. And you can pick one up for relatively cheap, and you can watch everything you want when you want, and it's not going to cost you a whole lot. We're thinking about getting rid of our cable because, well, one, my TV broke, so we don't have that. But we're thinking about getting a new TV when we can. We're thinking about getting the Roku box. And why not? Because all of the programs that are basically on your cable networks are on the Roku box. Because there's this thing called Netflix. Why not, folks? I look out and have looked out into society for the past 30 some odd years, as much as I have been researching and investigating all of these things that our government has put their fingers on. And I've realized one valuable little piece of information. There are people out there who do not want to even get close to even recognizing or accepting anything that is truthful or factual. But I tear away the veil and show you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. I give you the truth with the facts as much as I can show them to you and as much as I have. And for those that don't want to see that, have a nice day. For those that want to see it and hear it and understand it, stick around. I got more coming. Believe me. Yes. Even though I had a week off from not feeling too swift, I was thinking about all kinds of things. Plus, I heard that report where the Malaysian government, I heard it this morning, where the Malaysian government has proof, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the plane crashed into the Indian Ocean. Well, let's go here, folks. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Go to beforeitsnews.com. Flight MH370 is at Diego Garcia. Here's the proof. While the mainstream media and people around the world continue their quote-unquote wild goose chase, this was posted today, folks, for the missing Malaysia 370 flight, the videos below provide facts that our videographers say prove that the missing plane is at Diego Garcia, a top-secret U.S. military base. Not so top secret now, is it? The math for the flights. Let me say that again. The math for the flights, mileage, and time add up perfectly with the facts presented here to show that this ongoing search for a crashed plane in the ocean is only theater. There are 2 videos there, folks. One is 4.5 minutes. Another one is 8 minutes, or 7 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay? Now, who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Before it's news? Your local news media? Who's telling the truth? Huh. Now, I present both sides. Like I said, the lamestream state-run media is telling you that the Malaysian government said beyond a shadow of a doubt the plane crashed in the Indian Ocean. Before It's News is giving you this piece of information about there's proof that it landed at Diego Garcia secret U.S. military base. Who's lying? And who's telling the truth? That's where you come in, folks. You need to go do your homework. Find out. I believe, well, let's just say this. I believe that it's not beyond the capability of the United States of America to pull off a charade like this and land that plane at Diego Garcia. For what purpose? It's anyone's guess. Maybe, let's say, they needed a bigger plane to take the opium from Afghanistan into Mexico. Maybe. I don't know. But I know that there's something brewing. If anyone's in the Spreaker chat, please drop over there and talk to me. Tell me what you think. I do not believe it's beyond the capacity of the United States government and the military-industrial complex to steal a plane, to do what they have to do, to land it at Diego Garcia, and to do what they do. Is it beyond the possibility that it could have crashed in the ocean? No. That could have happened too. But I would put my chips where... I would put my chips into the vicinity of the government taking the plane and doing something with it. Did they? Do I have proof of that? No, but the possibility is there. A high probability is there. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't put it past the government to do something like that. But no one's ever going to bring the truth out with the facts, and I'm still researching it to find out what the heck's going on. So if you don't find out before I do, I'll let you know what I find. And if you do find something out, please email that to me. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. How do you feel about guns, folks? How do you feel about weapons for protection? WeAreChange.org. Georgia lawmakers pass controversial guns everywhere bill. The Georgia House. This is from MSNBC.com, by the way, over on WeAreChange.org. The Georgia House passed a sweeping gun bill late Thursday night that allows firearms in bars and nightclubs, school classrooms, and certain government buildings that lack security and personnel or devices. Lawmakers moved the bill through the House during the last hour of the night on Thursday, meeting their midnight deadline before the end of the current legislative session. If signed by the governor, the law will give religious leaders the option to opt in. Oop, let me read that again, folks. Just caught my eye. If signed by the state's governor, the law will give religious leaders the option to opt in, that's in quotes, to allow guns, on their worship premises where violators cannot be arrested or fined more than $100 each. I don't know what all that means, folks. Let me read that again. Maybe you can figure this out. If signed by the state's governor, the law will give religious leaders the option to opt in to allow guns on their worship premises or in their church where violators cannot be arrested or fined more than $100 each. I see. So right now they could be. Okay. Additionally, it could grant citizens the right to carry firearms in bars, nightclubs, libraries, sports facilities, senior citizens and youth centers, and on K through 12 premises by authorized administrators and teachers. The law would also allow permit holders to carry guns in Transportation Security Administration checkpoints and airports with no penalty, which is a reduction from a maximum felony punishment currently in place. Individuals who claim ownership of a permit would be allowed to leave the security area without consequences, and officials could not detain them or ask to see firearms documentation. Okay. The legislators' decision is not only a slap in the face for victims of gun violence in Georgia, but also for all American sufferers, said Brian Malte, Senior National Policy Director of the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence. Quote, "We know more guns is not a solution to gun violence, so it's a very sad day in Georgia," unquote, he told MSNBC. Though supporters are pleased with the approval of the bill, many wish it treated religious establishments similar to bars, nightclubs, and municipalities. The government does not belong in church affairs, said Jerry Henry, executive director of Georgia Carry. His group is a main proponent of the bill, also backed by the National Rifle Association. Quote, "The bill means that if you are one who likes to protect yourself, that you have a whole lot more places to protect yourself. It means that if you're a bad guy, you might want to think about going into some of these places," unquote. Among other provisions, the law also changes Georgia's self-defense measures by removing the penalty of possessing a firearm in an unauthorized location. If passed, the legislation will provide security to individuals carrying firearms in unauthorized locations under the influence of drugs or alcohol and without a license in locations currently prohibited. Let me say that again because that one just went by me. If passed, the legislation will provide security to individuals carrying guns in unauthorized locations. Okay, I got that. Under the influence of drugs or alcohol and without a license in locations currently prohibited. Oh, I see. Quote, "There are some states that take guns away anywhere. There are some states that take guns anywhere, anytime, and virtually for anyone, and they do it in a piecemeal. Georgia has decided to do it all in one bill," unquote, Malt said. Opponents of the bill refer to the measure as an expansion of stand your ground because it has the potential to give felons and other individuals currently banned from owning a gun permission to carry in unauthorized areas. Excuse me. George Zimmerman's acquittal last summer in the shooting death of Florida teenager Trayvon Martin brought renewed national attention to the stand your ground defense. Georgia lawmakers who passed the bill Thursday by 112 to 58 vote will now present the legislation to Republican Governor Nathan Deal, who plans to run for re-election on November 4th. Previously, Deal supported loosening gun restrictions, which earned him an A rating from the NRA and an endorsement for a GOP primary runoff election in 2010. Now, you can read that. Click on the link on. I'll put that link also in the Spreaker chat, so if anybody wants to see that, you can do that. And I feel that any state, governor, otherwise, legislatures, otherwise, any state that decides to propose any type of gun control law is in direct violation of the Second Amendment, period. And the only reason why you have these gun-grabbing libtards out there that are trying to take away your rights to keep and bear arms and to carry it wherever you want is because they're offended. That's all it is. Well, there's gun violence all over the place, and it's like, we just want to keep people safe. So you're going to ban guns and take away the ones that people have? Now, who is the idiot? Okay. I don't know what's happening down there in Georgia, specifically in Chickamauga, Georgia. Bob, can you tell me what's going on? I will take asinine for 500, Alex. What the hell is going on down there? Bob, you're in Georgia. Let me know. I don't know, folks. Have y'all lost your mind? Yeah, I have that southern drawl, even though my family's from the north. We like our guns, okay? Anyway. Hey, I love you, Bob. Really do. Love them people in Georgia. I got relatives down in South Carolina. I probably got relatives in Georgia. I got relatives in that in the People's Republic of New York State. Yeah, up in upstate New York and down in Manhattan, and oh yeah, I got them all over up there, man. I'm telling you, probably got a few relatives in Florida. Folks, the bottom line is we have a Second Amendment. We have a Bill of Rights completed to protect our God-given rights, to protect ourselves, and to say what we want to say, where we want to say it, how we want to say it, and to whomever we wish to say it to. Here's the other thing, folks. Just a little side note on the Bill of Rights. First Amendment protects our rights to freedom of speech, worship, assembly, and expression, right? Why is it in your cities you have free speech zones? That's a violation right there of my protected First Amendment right of free speech. Okay? Your cities, your counties, your states, if they promote and establish free speech zones in your city or state or county, they are in direct violation of the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights of the United States of America, period. How many people got the balls to go take those signs off those poles? How many people got the gonads to go to the city council and to the county board of supervisors and tell them, I've had enough, you jackasses. Don't you think it's time to stand up for what you believe in? Or are you going to wimp out? You just going to wimp out and just lay there like some weak-ass dog? Hope not. I'll be back right after this.
Is he a conservative liberal? Or is he a liberal conservative? You decide. You're listening to The Views Expressed with Reverend Wayne S. Pierce.
Imagine a towering skyscraper with numerous floors, and each floor represents a different level of existence. Matter, spirits, angels, ghosts, extraterrestrials, quantum physics, biology, neuroscience, religion, metaphysics, even paranormal studies, all have their place in The Grid. The Grid, exploring the hidden infrastructure of reality, by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
Hey there, I'm Big Tiny. I'm the host of Big Tiny's Oldies and More. And we're playing music that you just love to hear from the 50s to the 90s. So check us out Monday through Friday and see what we're playing right here on Spreaker.com.
Free Talk Live.
When you call a government bureaucracy, more often than not, the person who you talk to will not know the answer to your question, but they'll tell you they think they know who the person is that has the answer, and they will pass the buck to that other person, and if they happen to pick up the phone, they'll usually pass on the buck, or you'll leave a voicemail and never hear back from anybody.
Right. I mean, I wasn't being rude at the PSA at all. I was, the third person I talked to, she was getting pretty hot under the collar. It's like, what are you being so angry for? I'm just asking regular questions any person would.
Well, she's probably upset that she had to pick up her phone and talk to one of the little peons like you.
She's probably annoyed at her underlings who actually gave you her phone number and let you get through to her.
Yeah, that's probably the case. She just wants to play solitaire, and you interrupted her game, or she just wants to surf on the internet, and you just ruined her day.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Join the National Down Syndrome Society's My Great Story campaign
to honor and celebrate the amazing stories of the 400,000 Americans with Down syndrome.
If you have Down syndrome, tell us about your achievements, dreams, and aspirations.
If you know someone who has Down syndrome, tell us how they've inspired you.
Visit ndss.org/stories to share your great story.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. Defending liberty and freedom. Fighting the New World Order. This is the Free America Radio Network. And this is The Views Expressed, and I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, right here on the 24th of March, 2014.